Ahoy hoy. I am Alexa Jonas, and I don't like that they're putting chemicals in the frogs that's turning the friggin' water gay! So, welcome to Flat Earth News. I am your host, Planarwalk, because Alexa Jonas will get me banned off the internet. But anyway, I have finally settled on a name for this show. It will be called Flat Earth News. That's because I can't tell whether I'm delivering you news or a nurse. So the first bit of news that I want to talk about, and then we'll get into the more flat earth orientated news, is Alex Jones got banned from Facebook, YouTube, Spotify and iTunes. And this was in about a day that they just went ahead and banned him. What also happened is that H3H3 went ahead and talked about this on his podcast, and his podcast got taken down. And H3H3 was going to defend YouTube for this. And I don't know if he was going to defend Facebook, but he mostly talked about he was going to defend YouTube. Now, at face value, that does seem shady as shit. But I don't think that it really is. I think what actually happened here was, H3H3 was making a video, going to defend YouTube. YouTube's algorithm comes along and realizes that he's playing some Alex Jones thing, and decides this person is trying to re-upload Alex Jones content, and, they strike him for it. I think that's all that happened. Or maybe it was an intern. I don't know. But I think that's what's happened, and the problem is when you rely on things like automation to ban videos, you get a lot of stuff happening. Does anyone remember the adpocalypse of YouTube? I sure as shit do. So I asked a few flat earthers what they thought. And some of the responses I got were rather interesting. One response I got was that Alex Jones is Bill Hicks. I'm not sure what it had to do with it, but I'm going to have to make a video on that on sometime in the future. Another response that I got was that it's a publicity stunt. And it could be. I don't know enough about it to say whether it is or not. Another response that I got was that Alex Jones just spreads misinformation and bullshit, which, they're not wrong on that. Now, another response from flat earthers that I got was that Alex Jones, and I'm pretty sure they're correct on this, has been inciting violence. And when you start inciting violence, that can become very dangerous, especially if you have a large influence. And YouTube does have policies around this. So if Alex Jones has been inciting violence, and YouTube has policies saying that you can't incite violence on their platform, they do not have to platform you. Same goes for iTunes, same goes for Facebook, same goes for Spotify. If you incite violence on someone's platform, they do not have to platform you. They are private companies. But at the same time, the argument can be made of who decides whether it's hate speech or not. At the end of the day, a person has to decide whether a video counts as hate speech or whether it's just harmless or whether it's a joke. And that's where you get cases like the Count Dankula case, where he might be going to prison because he made a joke and people thought, oh, that is hate speech. But either way, let me know what you think in the comments. Anyway, what other flat earth news do we have? So for this next story, you may have heard of this up-and-coming YouTuber called SciManDan. Apparently, he has been buying views and subscribers. Now, essentially what has happened is Ranty Flat Earth made a video on SciManDan. Because Ranty Flat Earth can't conceive how someone can grow at such an exponential rate that they keep on gaining views, subscribers, all that. I don't think they understand the concept of viral videos. So the allegation here is that because SciManDan has been growing at such an alarming rate, that he must be buying views and subscribers. But here's the thing, I found out about SciManDan back when he had about 2,000 subscribers. Now, for me to stumble across his channel, a channel that I'd never seen before, the odds of that are very low. So there must have been a video which the algorithm favored, right? And so a lot of people found that video, and because a lot of people clicked on that video and found that video, they must have gone, oh, okay, people like this person's content, let's favor his content more. That is how the YouTube algorithm works. That is how viral videos get made. I think it's clear that Ranty Flat Earth is jealous of SciManDan. And, I don't blame him. I'm jealous of SciManDan. Who wouldn't be jealous of SciManDan? He's doing extremely well for himself. But that does not mean that he's going and buying subscribers and views. I highly doubt that he's going and buying views and subscribers just because of the fact that I managed to find him when he was such a small size. And he could be buying views and subscribers, I don't know, but I just doubt it. Alright, next news story. I need a cool transition for news stories here, don't I? So last month I talked about how Greater Sapien actually managed to raise enough money for his pole-to-pole circumnavigation. However, this month there has been a whole big thing about that. It turns out that the people organising the event were actually frauds. What has happened is that the people organising the event have just gone silent. Nobody is able to contact them. So because of this, a lot of people are very suspicious of Greater Sapien, and I can understand that, They are saying, oh, we want proof that you purchased tickets, that you haven't just taken the money for yourself. We need proof that it's a fraud and that you're not involved. So a flat earther took it upon themselves to go to, I think it was the ticket vendor, and ask them, has a Jerry Williams purchased a ticket? The answer they got back was no. And so they were going, we found it, we've got proof right here. Proof. Jerry Williams did not purchase the ticket. Therefore, Greater Sapien took the money for himself. Here is the thing. The name that Greater Sapien used was not Jerry Williams, because on his driver's license, it says Gerald Williams. Jerry, if you know, is a shortened down version of Gerald. I mean, it's pretty obvious. And even in some videos that Greater Sapien made, it says that it was Gerald Williams. And no flat earthers picked up on this. To be fair though, it's an easy thing to miss. But if you're gonna do investigating, do it right. So some flat earthers understand that Greater Sapien didn't know what he was getting into. I mean, who can tell that something's a scam? There's a lot of scams that go on all the time that even get intelligent people. But other flat earthers are saying that because this was a scam, it clearly can't be done. You can't go from pole to pole circumnavigation. And they may be right, they may be wrong. But as for now, we've got to see how things go and see how this plays out. So, whilst I'm on the top of Greater Sapien, let's go to the next news story, which is Greater Sapien actually managed to prove in a video that atmospheric refraction is a thing which has an effect on light. And I like this because there is a lack of videos that do this. I've seen a couple of videos that prove that atmospheric refraction happens, but this is sort of taking it to a new thing. I might actually make a video time-lapse, because I like time-lapses, doing a similar sort of experiment.
Notice as I put the ice under the beam, it is now moving around a bit. There's a slight breeze, and so the laser is going through the slightly cooler air for brief instances, and so the beam is bending. And when I take the ice away, the beam stabilizes. I do it again. The camera and the laser are on the same surface. You can see the pointer is not getting bumped by my movement. And the new motion of the spot is downward.
The video that Greater Sapien shows clearly shows the laser moving up and down as he puts it through different gradients of air. So, cold air on bottom, it moves down. Hot air below it, it moves up. And this is to be expected. And so I'm just glad that there's an experiment out there that people can do, people can test to see what happens. So the next story is about President Trump Because even a flat earth news outlet has to talk about Trump at some point, am I right? So recently Trump has been spreading this idea that he wants to create a space force, which surprisingly enough there's people that think, oh yes, this is a good idea, and there's people that think, no, this is a bad idea. Neil deGrasse Tyson has been saying that it's not such a bad idea. And flat earthers say, well, it would be impossible because space doesn't exist. So one of the big discussions that come from this sort of thing is, does Trump think that we're on a globe, or does he think that we're on a flat disk? Now, if he's saying about the idea of Space Force, it could be possible that, he just wants to make people believe in the globe because he's part of the whole conspiracy. But it also puts a bit of a hole in I think it was some fake news actually earlier this year that was going around saying that Trump says that the Earth is flat or something. There isn't too much to go on when it comes to this story because the original article was interviewing a person from the Flat Earth Society. And there's a lot of flat earthers out there that don't trust the Flat Earth Society. They think that it's misinformation put out there by the government. Now, that is a bit of a no Scotsman's fallacy, but I'm going to let it slide because if you look at the Flat Earth Society's posts on Twitter, they say some stupid ass shit, and they seem more like a meme page than anything. Whilst I do agree that flat earthers do say some stupid ass shit, most of them don't try to act like flat earth is a big joke, which is what I see from the Flat Earth Society on Twitter. And we get to the last story, which is actually pretty fucking funny. Whether you're a globe earther or a flat earther, this is just hilarious. So what happened is this woman got a job at NASA. She got accepted for an internship. And so she tweeted, "Everyone shut the fuck up. I got accepted for a NASA internship." Which Homer Hickam replied to her, "Language." So she responded appropriately, I don't know what to call this. She responded by saying, "Suck my dick and balls, I'm working at NASA." And the funniest part is when Homer Hickam replies with, "And I am on the National Space Council that oversees NASA." And so she lost her job because of that. Now, people are saying that she shouldn't have lost her job because of it, but to be fair, she did tell someone that was in a higher position than her to suck her dick and balls. I mean, I'm pretty sure that if someone in a higher position had said that to someone in a lower position, there would definitely be HR complaints and all that about it. But to add to it, it wasn't actually Homer that got her fired. It was actually the people that responded to Homer that got her fired. Because these people responded to Homer tagging NASA in it, so that NASA would definitely see what was going on. It was the people responding that got her fired. Homer didn't actually want to get her fired. The reason why Homer responded with language was because he was afraid that a NASA employee might see the tweet and fire her. So at the end of the day, Homer was actually just trying to help her keep her job, and he's actually trying to get her a different job at NASA. So, good on Homer, and let this be a lesson to people. Be careful who you insult. So, leave a like and subscribe if you like that video. I'm going to try and make these videos every month. So, subscribe for that. And leave a comment telling me what you think of any of these stories. Also, if you want to support me, you can do so on Patreon. If you want to talk to me later, you can do so by joining my Discord server. But anyway, I will see you in the next video. Between you and me, thank you for watching.